Unmute?
Yep.
So we're live, huh?
I'd like to call a meeting of the Atchison County Board of Commissioners together. It's 1 o'clock. We're meeting in the courthouse commission room, 423 North Fifth Street. It is April 6th. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to make a motion that we make some changes, these changes to the agenda for today. We want to discuss mask mandate, and we will do that right after the commissioner's comments. And then the Northeast Kansas Health is canceled due to illness. And then under Joe Snyder, we're going to add a bridge change order. Do I have a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Quinn. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Okay. Public comment about non-agenda items. I don't see any. I assume that we all had a chance to look at the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
Also moved.
It's moved by Commissioner Knoll,
I'll second.
seconded by Commissioner Quinn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
This passed 3-0. Commissioner comments and committee reports. K.S.A.
I would just like to thank everyone for getting back to me in regards to the mask issue. The more feedback I'm able to gather as a county commissioner, the easier my job is to make educated decisions. So really all I have right now.
Yeah, Eric, got it.
I attended the NEK Area Agency on Aging meeting via Zoom Thursday. Things are still in order. There's, it was a big change this year. Congregate meals went way down, but the meals that were delivered went hugely way up. So budget's being kind of reworked to reflect that. But it's been a major change, and I think the people there have done a really good job adjusting for, everything. And seems like one of the big topics now is the transportation. It's even in our county too. So that's what we're dealing with right now.
Okay. I don't have anything for today.
I have one more. I just wanted to say thank you to the Atchison Community Health Clinic and Wes and Jamie for getting the on-site vaccination clinic set up for the county today. So I'm excited to get my first vaccine. So just thank you for getting that for everyone here.
Okay, moving right along. Okay, the discussion on the mask in Atchison County. Does anybody have anything they want to say about? We'll go to the public first in regard to masks wearing in Atchison County. We have some school administrators.
Chairman Bauer, are you asking for public comment?
I did ask for public comment. Nobody appeared.
I'm asking now on the mask mandate, if that's what you're asking.
No, it's on the agenda, Mike. We added it to the agenda. So this would be appropriate time to comment.
I'm asking, are you only wanting to hear from school administrators, or you wanting to hear from the public at large? I'm not a school administrator.
Okay, well, why don't we hear from the school administrators first, Mike, and then you can, or you or anybody else can weigh in. Andrew, you want to go first?
Yes, I'll begin. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
My stance as superintendent of Atchison County Community Schools, of course, it would have to go to the Board of Education as well to get their perspective. But my recommendation to our board will be to continue with the masks. That's changed recently. Last week we had 5 student positive cases, resulting in just under 50 quarantines. A couple weeks before that, we had a staff member hospitalized due to complications. from COVID-19, and that was actually between 2 of the vaccine shots. And that's our second staff member that's come down with COVID between the vaccination shots. We're in the middle of state assessments. And as you know, the closure last year didn't allow us to get good data on our students. And my fear is that we could lose an entire class and miss that window of getting crucial data that we use to improve our instruction year in and year out. We're approaching just a little bit over a month left of school. It's pretty routine for our students and our staff at this point. Yeah, I know people will say there's no data out there that it has a preventative measure, but there's no data that says it doesn't. And it's really the only thing in our school settings when we have large numbers of students that have to be in close proximity that prevents or can prevent that transmission. So that will be my recommendation. It would be my recommendation for some consideration for the county commission, just to keep us as school entities all kind of on the same page. I want away from masks as much as anybody else, and I know our students do. My 2 students in the public school setting, and it's a challenge. But like I said, we're for us as school administrators and school students and personnel, our end is very near. We have just over a month left, and that this time that we're in right now is very crucial for us for next year, and that's where I stand.
Congratulations for being open all year. Okay, Renee, do you have things you'd like to add?
Yes, first of all, I do appreciate Commissioner Quinn reaching out in advance and just getting a pulse of where we stand. We have had in our navigating change document for USD 409, the plan to have masks all year. We are starting to loosen restrictions, but last year our students missed out on prom and graduation. I do not want to risk another outbreak in the school setting, especially, or see a spike and risk jeopardizing graduation for these seniors. Our hope is to continue masks, although I understand after watching last week's commission meeting or last month's commission meeting that yeah, it could be optional, but it's a lot less effective when we're not all in and all on the same page. I appreciate businesses opening up. I think it was much needed. If we could just hang on till the mask mandate till the end of this school year. And when we're all on the same page, I think that is powerful as a community. I know that our county numbers, as a result of a lot of difficult decisions the commission made early on, are pretty outstanding comparatively in the state. And I really think that a lot of the decisions you made really did aid us in keeping schools open all year. And I thank you for that.
Is there any other school administrators on that? Seeing none, Mr. Koppelman, you want to speak?
Thank you, Chairman Bauer. Mike Kuckelman. Chairman Bauer, this morning I saw on the workshop agenda that you had this mask mandate discussion per Chairman Bauer's request. I joined your workshop this morning, which, by the way, I think that workshop ought to be moved to this meeting. Having 2 meetings is not ideal under COMA, but in any event, you put that on the agenda. And I sat and listened to part of that discussion, Chairman Bauer, that you led. And it appeared to me you in 3 weeks have not read Senate Bill 40 signed into law by Governor Kelly. You led a discussion about the county commission taking action on school masks. And Senate Bill 40, Chairman Bauer, makes it crystal clear. It's not up to you and it's not up to the county commission. But yet you led a discussion as if you have some power over the schools. It's not true. Senate Bill 40 says only the Board of Education will issue mandates requiring any action by students or employees of a school district while on school district property. This is a decision for the school districts, not you. And it needs to be left to the school districts. If you want to address if you want to address masks in county, aside from the schools, you can do that. But as you should know, under Senate Bill 40, there's a very specific provision now how that should work. But I was disappointed this morning listening to it, Chairman Bauer, because you started in with some discussion about, I wrote down your words, talking about freedom and political as if there was something wrong with people having a discussion about masks and people having differing views. There's nothing wrong with people having differing views. You, Chairman Bauer, need to open up your mind and just let people disagree. This is an important topic to everybody. But as it relates to school districts, Chairman Bauer, it's frankly not the business of yours to tell these school districts what to do. Kansas law is now crystal clear. Section 12A says that, or sorry, that's the wrong section. It's section 1. It's the very first section. It says only the Board of Education responsible for maintenance, development, and operation of a school district shall have the authority to take any action, issue any order, or adopt any policy made or taken in response to such disaster emergency that affects the operation of the school or attendance center of a school district, including but not limited to, and under section C, mandates any action by students or employees at the school district while on school property. This is a power that the legislature and a law signed by Governor Kelly makes crystal clear now. It's out of your hands and it belongs to the school district. It belongs to the local people. You could have different school districts in Atchison County take two different approaches. You could have a school district require masks. You could have a different school district say we don't need them. And I don't care which one they do, but it's up to the school districts and not up to you, with all due respect. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else like to speak in regard to mask mandates? Seeing none, let's have some discussion here.
So my initial view was just to help to unify the schools as a backing as a county commissioner. I reached out to them on Friday when Governor Kelly the mask mandate was taken away in Kansas, just to see where they stood, get their feedback, and I wanted to support them. However, I am not in favor of doing a countywide mask mandate at all, and putting in here about the folks within the courthouse. I had a chance between meetings to be able to go visit with some of them, and I think everyone's ready to do what works for them. I mean, with that being said, I will still support the schools in every way I can, but I can't justify countywide. I thought we would be able to do something to help with our schools, but yeah, I can't justify the countywide
mandate.
with this wording, and yeah.
Yeah, and our discussion this morning was based on the fact that Commissioner Quinn had reached out to the school districts, and so we knew their position already. It wasn't something that we were imposing on them, but it was a way of us to support the school districts in their decision that we already knew. So, my position is very similar to Commissioner Quinn in the fact that the mandate, that when it comes to mandate, countywide mandate is something that we both are shying away from. I had brought up in discussion this morning about Shawnee County and the recommendation. So that's kind of where that led us this morning, is to do a recommendation, trying to help as many back up the individuals and the entities that want to continue with it for a short time. I would be the first one to say if it was a mandate and it lasted any longer than the school, I would be a definite no. But a recommendation to back up what the schools have already said that they are in favor for, I would definitely be in a position to vote yes on that.
I think another thing that was brought up in between meetings is there were several people that tuned into our workshop this morning, which is awesome. And I got additional feedback on that, and parents just can't understand where the kids are in sporting events and going and playing schools in the neighboring counties, and no one's wearing masks. And then, so I guess for me, it's easy to say, okay, we're trying really hard here in Atchison County to keep us all safe. But in reality, if we're playing sports with surrounding counties and we're opening ourselves up to getting it, like, I just, common sense to me means like, I can't see how I mean, my kids will continue to wear masks and I will continue to support our local schools however they see fit. But I think we're to the point now that one size doesn't fit all for our county, and we just need to do what makes all of us feel safe and continue on. And I hope the superintendents, I hope you understand our position on it. I mean, we do want to support you. We do want to, give you the backing that you need. However, I think that'll just have to be individualized and shown to the public as leaders of the county. So
the chair would make a motion to take no further action at this time on masks. Atchison County. Have a motion?
I'll make a motion. So moved, sorry.
Mhm.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay. The motion made by Commissioner Quinn, seconded by Commissioner Knoll. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Passes 3-0. Okay, Joe Schneider. Superintendent, order approval.
Larry, this afternoon. I just sent the change order from Norfolk Contracting. Did y'all get that?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, so it doesn't have the total. It's estimated 36,500. They just have the $315 per linear foot on the holes, approximately 5 foot. So as we discussed earlier, if you guys are willing, I think we need to accept this change order and keep the bridge moving right along. Do you have any questions?
Chair would entertain a motion to approve a change order to Norfolk Contracting Incorporated. I'm trying to see the total cost here, Joe.
Would be an estimated 36,500.
For an estimated 36,500. Is this a not to exceed motion? That's the way you want it to read.
Is that for us to decide or judge?
Well, I would recommend any time on this particular change order to allow 10% either way. So it doesn't have to come back to us for a small amount. So the chair would entertain a motion for Norfolk Contracting for a change order on structure 28-6 63-0 bridge or location bridge number 270 for $36,000 with a 10% leeway for any other additional costs. Do I have a motion?
Also moved.
So moved by Commissioner Knoll, seconded by Commissioner Quinn. Any further discussion?
If I might try and clarify an issue.
Okay.
Actually, this is a cost that's broken down into individual component expenses. And what will happen is you will have an independent, what you're doing is you're actually approving the unit costs that they have on here and the estimated quantities which they've shown. You will have a representative independent of this contractor who will be on site making a determination as to whether this is sufficient amount or something else has to be done. So it might adjust a little bit one direction or another. And I know you've got a 10% number in there. It's just that you will have MHS Engineering who's watching over this and saying, yes, this is enough, or no, we need just a little bit more here to finish these out. Okay.
So and the judge of the cost. That's important, Roger. Thank you.
And then that on the top, it adjusted the piling and the deduct. I should have explained that a little bit better. So, but if we're done with that, are you ready to move on?
Oh, we have to take action. So all in favor of approving the change order signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, passes 3-0.
All right, and then the other is a purchase order on a 24-inch high flow drum and 24-inch smooth milling machine for our skid loader with K.S.A Bobcat. The requisition number is M7017. It's in the total amount of $17,047.56. And as we discussed earlier this morning in the work session, it would be my opinion that we move forward with this.
The chair will entertain a motion to approve vendor K.S.A Bobcat in Tracy, Missouri for $17,047.56.
So moved.
It's been moved by Commissioner Quinn,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Knoll. Further discussion. I'd just like to point out this is under a state contract.
Yes,
State contracts have been negotiated. So that's why there's not a bid associated with this particular purchase. Any other discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Passes 3-0.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
I have a purchase order here from Joint Communications for Midwest Mobile Radio. It's a contract for 274, maintenance contract for 274 radios. It runs from April 1st for 1 year. It is for $16,440. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Knoll, seconded by Commissioner Quinn. Discussion? Hearing none, I assume you're ready to vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0. Okay. County councilor updates.
Things are moving ahead on the tax sale planning. We've had a couple dozen people sign up to get updates on, or to sign up for the bid at the tax sale. And I encourage people, if they have questions about the tax sale, to go to the website. There's a list of the properties that are included there. And there's a way to register if somebody wishes to purchase property at the tax sale. And other than that, I don't think I have anything to add.
Executive sessions.
We had one, Jamie. was-
For non-elected personnel, do you want to make the motion?
I don't have the, elected personnel. Is Jamie available right now? I mean,
Jamie will appear.
Oh, she's gonna be
Yeah,
on.
I'll just come down there if that's okay.
Okay, I didn't know how we were gonna do that, so, and it's just three commissioners, you and Pat.
Yes.
Okay. I'll move that the Board of County Commissioners recess into executive session at 1:25 PM to discuss personal matters of non-elected personnel as allowed by K.S.A 75-4319B1, and that the purposes of the closed session is to protect the privacy rights of the employee, and that the board come out of executive session at 1:45 PM in the commission room, first floor courthouse. And those present will be the three commissioners, Pat Henderson, County Councilor, and Jamie Madison, HR Director.
Have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Quinn. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye. We're in executive session. Okay, we're back from executive session. Any public comment?
Yes, I do, Chairman Bauer. Is it right to proceed?
Sure.
Chairman Bauer, my name is Michael Kuckelman. I want to talk again about being open and transparent, Chairman Bauer, with county government. And I'm bringing this specifically to you, Chairman Bauer, because there have been a couple instances where I've been disappointed in the way that you, and I don't know that you mean to do it, but you do things that stifle public comment and stifle differing opinions. And look, the only way we can all get along is if we're allowed to freely open our opinions. And let me give you two examples, even with me, and you don't intimidate me, by the way, but let me give you two examples where I thought you were trying. First, the last time I appeared here at public comment, you asked me to give my address, and I don't think you do that usually of most citizens. And I assume your point was that I don't live full-time in Atchison. And that's a fair comment. I do live part-time in Atchison. My legal residence is where my law office is. I have to be here to practice. As soon as I don't have to have a full-time job, I will probably become a full-time resident of Atchison. But I wasn't quite sure why you decided that was necessary, but I went and looked. And Chairman Bauer, if I'm looking correctly at the county tax rolls, I pay about $22,000 a year in county and in property taxes in Atchison County, $22,000. And I looked yours up, and with your businesses, it appears you pay about $15,000. So I pay 47% more than you do. And if that doesn't entitle me to have an opinion about how our county runs, then I don't know what does. But to the extent that's what you were saying or what you were implying, I didn't like it. I don't think it's right. And I don't think you should do that to any citizens. I think we need to have open dialogue. Also, you recently, it was probably 3 weeks ago, I went and watched the video. You went on a bit of a tirade about people personally attacking the local county health officer because she issued that order. You voted 2-1 to implement it, though it was later revoked, understandably why. And then she went to Hawaii. I had written to all of you on March 2nd, 2021, saying how the optics of that were absolutely awful. It's terrible for a government to impose restrictions and then not follow the rules. And that was fair comment. And there was no personal attack. In fact, if you all go back and look at my correspondence of March 2nd, nowhere in there is that person's name mentioned, only their job title. And the reason for that is she's not an elected official. I don't think she should be attacked personally. She's not an elected official. She doesn't get voted in or get voted out. But somebody has to comment when this kind of a thing happens. And so it's fair to comment about the local health officer and about the hypocrisy of what the county was doing and what the health officer was doing in that regard. So to the extent that your comments stifle public interaction, I hope you'll restrain them in the future. And that leads me into under COMA. As I mentioned earlier today, I think the county commission really ought to look at doing away with that workshop and just doing all of this in one meeting. People don't necessarily have the availability to attend a workshop and then a meeting. And the discussion happens in the workshop, quite frankly. If people want to hear what the commission is doing, what their views are, that happens in the meeting. And at the workshop, and then just the vote happens at the meeting. I think that you should all look at COMA, especially at K.S.A 75-4317A and B, and read B that, it says that you should really be striving to accomplish what A asked for, which is free and open discussion so that public can hear and participate. I'd encourage you to do that. In parting, I would just say too, that I think you really need to be careful as a commission in regard to 4317A. You're only a 3-person commission. And it is clear that if there is a majority of you together at one time, that would violate COMA. And I know it's difficult in a small community, but if people see 2 of you chatting outside of a meeting, it raises concerns. So what are you chatting about? There should either expand the commission to 5 so you don't have that problem, or be hyper sensitive to the optics of 2 of you having any discussion whatsoever outside of a meeting, because where there are 2 of you, you are a majority, and that would be a violation of COMA. So with that, I'll leave it. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. And thank you all for doing your jobs. But I just am hopeful that we can get around some of these issues and be more willing to allow differences of opinion. Thank you.
The chair will entertain a motion to
Thank you.
adjourn at 1:15 PM.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.